Resident falls are a problem that many healthcare facilities face. An average nursing home with 100 beds typically reports 100 to 200 falls per year. Studies suggest as many as 3 out of 4 residents in nursing homes fall each year, with many falling more than once. The effects of a fall can be devastating for both the individual and the facility.
What we often see is that there is a huge fear that occurs in a resident after they've experienced a fall, especially if it's a serious fall. And so then they will start to limit what they do and their movements, because then they think that if they don't move, then their chance of falling decrease. But then what happens is they just become weaker, and so the risk of falling goes up.
It's so demoralizing when a resident falls, I think, for the staff, for the families, for the resident themselves. It's just hard on them. Sometimes they're embarrassed by it. Sometimes they just, I can't think of the word. They're just embarrassed, and they feel bad about it, and you know, it can cause any number of injuries for a person. So we take it pretty seriously.
As many as 10 to 20% of nursing home falls cause serious injury, with up to 6% resulting in fractures. Falls can even be fatal. Approximately 1,800 nursing home occupants die every year as a result of injuries sustained from falls.
The effect that falls have on our facility is enormous. We spend huge amounts of time and huge amounts of money trying to prevent falls, trying to come up with ways to identify the reason that people are falling. It's a huge part of our focus.
We actually have a committee that meets once a month to review all incidents that have occurred in our facility in the previous week. And as a part of that committee, we really spend a lot of time really investigating what caused the fall, how can we prevent the fall, and any further incidents with that resident.
In 2008, the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, or CMS, announced that it would no longer pay the extra cost of treating certain conditions called never events, which are acquired conditions that should be considered reasonably preventable. Among this list of never events are falls. Fortunately, the dedicated professionals working within healthcare facilities are working hard to identify each resident's fall risk and find ways to help prevent falls before they occur. Many factors can contribute to a person's risk of falling.
Some of the factors that could contribute would be an illness, confusion, dementia, unawareness of safety needs. So then we as a facility and a staff try to anticipate those needs, and like I said before, watching their toileting, their repositioning, their medications, their disease process. It's a whole circle of things that we need to consider to keep the residents safe and to avoid falls.
Once the resident is part of our facility, we have an actual assessment process that we go through with each resident, and our therapy staff get highly involved in that process. Our physical therapy staff do a thorough assessment on their mobility. Our occupational therapy staff do a thorough assessment on their positioning, their ability to navigate their environment, and what type of assistive devices they have. And then our nursing staff do a thorough assessment on their medical status, their cognitive status, as well as their mood state, and any kind of sensory deficits that they might have. And once all of those assessments are completed, we compile that information and take a look at what types of risks do they have, and what types of preventative measures do we need to put in place.
Because of this combination of factors, a multifaceted approach can be the most effective solution to helping prevent or reduce the number of falls in a facility.
It takes a team approach, and every discipline can have a major impact on our residents' safety. So we kind of try to utilize everyone as a resource for that.
You know, whether it be the person has to go to the bathroom, or they couldn't reach their Kleenex box, or if the resident is weaker because they have an illness and normally they can get up and do those things by themselves. We try to find whatever that cause is and get down to the bottom of the reason for them falling, or the reason for them getting up not asking for assistance.
I think the best steps that we have done is to monitor the disease process, keep them on as few medications as we can, keep their pain under control, keep the staff available, do the best we can to have people walking through, checking on them. We have signs in their room to remind the resident to call for help. We teach them about their call light system, about if they use a urinal, keeping it at the bedside.
For our facility, the things that we found to be some of the best ways to approach fall prevention are to do a very thorough investigation of an incident, to get a clear picture of what's gone on with that resident. We've trained our nurses to become investigators. They need to take a look at, prior to the incident, what was going on, and then really take a look at, when they come upon the incident, what are they seeing, what did they observe, and then talking with the resident to find out exactly what they recalled of the incident, what were they trying to do, what happened, that type of thing. And then they also need to take a look at the environment. So what we've found is that by using root cause analysis process, we can start to key into the real issues that have contributed to that resident's fall or the incident, and then from there really start to implement interventions that are going to be effective.
We have various alarms. We also have protective devices to hipsters. We use gripper strips to prevent sliding. We have a gray landing mat or / blue mat, just in case someone may roll out of bed, high-low beds.
People's condition changes too rather quickly, so you have to be on task about it daily, sometimes hourly.
Using a sensor pad or string monitor product that alarms, such as Crest Fall Fighter, can help alert facility staff when a resident is at increased risk for a fall due to self-transfer attempts or other high-risk behavior.
When we started using the Fall Fighter equipment, our nurse manager group really took a look at all the equipment, and we scrutinized it pretty closely because we've used, a million different types of alarms.
What I also really liked about the system is that it seems to be kind of a fail-safe or fail-proof system, because there is no on-off button that we have to worry about. In some of the other products that we've used, if the nursing assistant were to take the resident to the bathroom, they would have to shut the alarm off and then remember to turn it back on. Where with this system, it automatically resets itself, and that's a nice feature. And I know that my staff have appreciated that a great deal, because they have so many things to remember throughout the day that to have one less thing to remember, especially when it comes to safety, is key.
I find the product very helpful. I enjoy that there's no off button on it. The price is very nice, and they're very loud, and they seem to be sturdier with the connection area, and it's a great company for customer service.
The staff feel too that it's an easy product to learn. They have not had any difficulty understanding how the product works. And what I think is also nice is if we can find one type of product that we could implement throughout the facility, it takes the confusion away from the staff.
And I like that the reset button, you don't have to find a key or an extra piece, or each one is a little bit different, so you're not sure how to reset it or how to get it to turn off when it's beeping.
The durability of the pads is something that we've been impressed with, and we feel that they definitely hold up better than other products that we've used. And I think that from my standpoint as the director of nursing, budget is always a big concern for me, and we found that they're very competitively priced and typically have been lower priced than many of the other products. And so if you can get the durability with the economical price, it's a win-win for both.